It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
What do you see when you're in the dark and the demons come?
Houston, we have a problem.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Hello, welcome to Buried Stories. My name is Jeff Mercurio. With me is Wendell Brown. Wendell, how are you this evening?
I'm good, Jeff. How are you today?
Not bad, not bad. Wendell, tonight this topic is about AI. It both fascinates and horrifies me at the same time with how far AI has come. So what are your thoughts on AI?
Well, I'm very interested, especially recently. We were talking about the fishermen that use AI to go directly out, and I think that enhances their business and will revolutionize their industry using AI. The offshoot is the environmentalists have a problem that the fish humans have an unfair advantage on the fish now, but it is what it is. Then recently I had one of the friends we work with call me, he was in a traffic jam, had a lot of accidents on the highway and was telling me to go a different route. And he had recently totaled his car and bought a Tesla. And he said, I just put it in overdrive. So he has that application there. He pays for it every month. It's like $99 a month.
Yeah.
But he just put it in overdrive. And it just rung some bells for me. My son has Teslas, and he talks about the overdrive all the time. And for those of us that don't have it, we think in terms of, when they perfect it, that'll be really neat. Well, it's perfected. I think it's perfected. And it's being used. And referring to a couple movies I've seen, the Minority Report, where that guy puts his car in manual to get away from the bad guys because it's in auto drive, and he puts it in manual so he can be an individual and get away. And then I, Robot is an interesting movie because it has a detective in it that is being attacked by robots. Nobody believes him. His boss doesn't believe him. Wrecks his car because the robots are attacking him, and then his boss says, no, you wrecked. There were no robots attacking you. You wrecked because you put the car in manual. And that just, I could hear it loud and clear because in our research of AI, it's used as a safety device. And the more people that think that it's a safety device, I think legislation will follow and laws will be applied, and it'll be somewhat similar to if you're driving now and you're looking at your cell phone and you wreck, you were distracted. And I can see it to where if it is truly seen as a safety device, it'll be mandated that you use it. And then if you don't use it and you're in manual driving, it'll be frowned upon, just like cell phones or distracted driving is today. And I can see that coming. I can see the laws coming, especially if it's being presented as a safety device and it's available to you. And if you're not using it and you're in manual, that's going to be that's going to be frowned upon by your insurance company. Were you driving your car in manual? You could have put it in auto drive. And that's just a couple applications of it. You and I use it every day to create reports, create pictures, songs, poems, whatever your cup of tea is. AI can do it instantly and better than you could have done it in 10 years, 20 years of thinking about it.
Right.
And businesses use it. They start off everything with AI, mainly to get the human error out of it and to polish it a little bit right from the get-go and to save time. And if you save time, you save money, and that's of interest to any industry. And just to get to the point of my babbling is the horizon that we're looking for. Like, boy, AI is really going to be neat, dangerous, and all that stuff when it gets here. It's here, Jeff. It's here. It's being applied in everything. Jobs are starting to be eliminated, and that's just a negative offshoot of it. Of course, if you're not needed, you're not going to be employed. And that's a rough way to look at it, but it's reality. if you're not needed, you're not going to be employed. And these things, this AI stuff, I'm a supporter of it. I love it. I love human beings pushing the envelope, exploring, finding the truth. You and I are fanatics about wanting to live in the truth, sometimes even to our demise
Right.
or displeasure. But I think you're better off with the truth, no matter what. And in this instant, you're better off with something that can do something better. It takes us further. It takes us farther than, you know. Sorry, we could have employed 1,000 people for the next 10 years, but we really only need 10, and to get to where we want to go. And the but the other 990 or 9,990, whatever number I said, are welcome on the ride. They just may not be involved in some of the decisions and things. There are negatives if it gets too powerful or if it does things that we don't agree upon. There needs to be checks and balances, but as well as I do, we can say checks and balances, but that's limit. Our ability is limited to check it and to balance it.
All right.
And you look at these applications now that can predict when you die or when you're most likely to die.
Yeah.
That's a parallel. That's parallel to the fishing application of AI. All it does is measure temperature, depth, and trends and weather and blah, 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 blah. And it gives you the highest probability of where the fish are. And that's what all these applications are. I mean, it's just a big, what is it? It's just a big program or algorithm to get the highest probability of whatever you're looking for. And but I think it's fascinating. I think there's no escaping it now, and it's here. I don't think the horizon is, or I don't think it's a horizon anymore. I think we've passed it.
So
That's
you
my
think
take.
we're past the Manhattan Project of AI?
Yeah.
It's
Yep.
been exploded. Nobody heard it, and it's already
Yep.
here.
Yep. I
Gotcha.
think it has been for a while. It has
Yeah.
been for a while. It just hadn't been turned loose on it. Now it's being turned loose on us.
Now let's go back to driving. Let's take driving for instance. I myself, when I'm driving somewhere on a vacation or anywhere we go, if I'm not the one in the driver's seat, being in control, I get a little
Mm-hmm.
nervous. I
Oh,
almost
I'm the
can't
same way.
relax in the passenger seat. So
I'm
I
the same
can't
way.
imagine. I've never had an auto drive, but I would be nervous at first. I don't know how some of these people do it, you know?
Do you think twice when your GPS tells you to turn right to get somewhere? Do you
No,
even think about it anymore?
no, I don't.
I don't bat an eye.
I know. I do.
Where,
I
yeah,
do
before
turn
you would
right.
like, I know how to get there. I know, that's what I mean. I think like anything else, it'll be bred into us and we'll get used to it and it'll
Right.
be how we do things. Um, uh, the auto drive, I am very surprised it's as far along as it is.
I
I'm
never
very
thought
surprised.
that would happen. I mean, I thought
I'm
there'd be we would have to reconstruct our highways and everything else, and then
Yeah,
these
yeah,
Teslas have
but
auto
see,
drive.
yeah, and they're doing it beyond what engineering thinking was, that we would have to redo all the highways and put some electric strip in it and have something to be able to read it. Satellites, car, that's it. That's all they need. They've busted through the envelope on that stuff. Sort of like that Skunk Works guy. If you ever in some of our Lazar research, that guy was saying what you guys can imagine. We've blown that away a long time ago. Star Trek, Star Wars, that kind of thing. We've blown that stuff away.
That's
We've
kind of
been there, done that.
a scary thought if you think about it. We're just
We're like living 100 years behind.
yeah,
We're we're living 100 years behind what's actually here.
right,
And
right.
but it's fascinating to me. I mean, I'm all for. I love the AI. You can't tell me you don't like the AI pictures. And
It amazes me how quickly it generates, and you could fine tune it just by giving it commands. But that almost takes I guess the passion that you have for it
Mhm.
and the
You're a
artistic
musician.
ability. Yeah, yeah.
You're a musician, so I know a couple more musicians that are really irritated with AI. And I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. The songs are better. They're quicker. They're better. They're out here. We can consume them, and yeah, the artistry involved in it is
Right,
gone. But actually, it's not gone. It's being robbed from artists of the past, because all it is a big clearinghouse of information. That's all
right.
AI of any type is. It's a clearinghouse of everybody's thoughts and notes and things that they put together and that are accessible. And that's how they use it in the healthcare industry, which I think is phenomenal. Uh, every doctor in the world's thoughts and theories are brought to bear on something. And you would never get that any other way. You would never get that other way. The internet came out and libraries were going to go away and we were all in a funk. I like libraries. I like books. I like going there.
You may both. Yeah.
Libraries are a thing of the past. There are you've got every library in the world at your fingertips. And the people that wanted old traditional ways of going to the library and reading books, the written word and all that, I understand their nostalgia, but it's not where we're going. It can't keep up. And the not only that, our society's so much faster, we don't have time to go to the library and read the book anymore. You know what I mean? And eventually, I'm sure it's already out there, but uh, the technology of shooting a laser in your eye and you learning 15 languages in 10 seconds is probably there. Learning a language is probably not going to be reading and studying anymore. It's going to be somehow implanted on you or in you. And
That's scary to me. Yeah, if something's implanted.
another movie reference at Battlefield Earth, they have it in there, and I just thought that was the coolest thing when I saw it. You could learn anything. Imagine that you could become a doctor in a half an hour. You could become a lawyer in a half an hour. You could become an engineer in a half an hour. And then would you trust me to build the bridge that you're getting ready to drive over? I don't know. But if I just took the engineer course the last half an hour and got it shot in my eye or my retinas and by a laser, and all of a sudden I am versed upon that subject. And that's where you get the arguments of experience and trial and error and how you learn things that way. That are very, very valuable. I could be a pilot in a half an hour, Jeff. All I got to do is put in the disc that says pilot and put the laser goggles on my eyes, and I could be a certified pilot in a half an hour. Now let's go fly. You ready? I mean,
Right.
I
Yeah.
mean, you know what I mean? That's the kind of hurdles that we as a society, and it won't be you and I, but it'll be generations. It won't even be our kids, but it'll be beyond that as far as utilizing this every day kind of stuff. But we are on the initiation of it, and this stuff is here, and it's being applied everywhere. And one thing that I do think a negative that it brings to the table is things happen quicker, much quicker, and so your job could be gone tomorrow, and all of our jobs could be gone tomorrow. You and I are on the railroad. The trains could be running themselves. If cars are running themselves, Jeff, trains are going to be running themselves.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And hopefully we retire before then. But that's just a selfish thing on us. But
Yeah.
it's for an industry that's been very good to a lot of people. It's going to be very good to a lot fewer people in the future, I think, and I think that's every industry. And another thing on this auto drive thing, where the hell is GM, Ford, Toyota, Nissan, and all these car makers over the last century? What the hell have they been doing? Elon Musk wakes up one morning and puts this thing together and then throws Teslas out and they're perfect. And
Yeah, I don't know.
where the hell's General Motors and Chrysler and Jeep, and where have they been hiding? Tell me.
You got
I
me.
mean, it's he blew them away. They're
Right.
sitting here. Yeah. I mean, I had cars when I was in my first career in the energy industry. We were doing natural gas vehicles, and the hybrids were a big thing, or completely natural gas vehicle, which could run like 100 miles, and you'd have to pull the trailer of natural gas behind your car.
Right.
But it would be $1 instead of $3 a gallon. And we were pushing that stuff, and we were trying to develop that stuff. So people didn't have knowledge of what Elon Musk has done. They didn't have it. And the amount of electricity that AI needs is, I think, going to be a hurdle. But man, you get enough energy to provide this stuff, I don't think any of us will be, or anybody will be going to work. There'll be no need.
Right.
Um,
That raises a good question. Where is everybody else besides Elon Musk? I mean, it's as if he's the only innovator. Everybody
know.
else is riding his coattails.
yeah. And you were talking
Everybody
about
else seems-
physicists. Where are all the
Yeah.
physicists?
They're all gone.
Yeah, and that's more
I don't
on
know.
our UFO subject. But
Right.
where are all the physicists?
No idea.
They're so. As far as AI, I mean, some of the applications, and I had some notes.
All right, let's take this. I like to read a lot, and I got a couple authors that I really enjoy because their stories are so creative. But pretty soon, you're not going to have to be an author. You could just type in something and print your own book, or have your own book be spit out.
It's being done now.
So, yeah.
You can publish today.
Oh,
You
yeah.
could be a published author today on Amazon.
Right.
I even heard one commercial that some lady wrote a book for her husband. He's an author and he doesn't know it, because she wrote a book, put his name on it, and it was supposed to be a funny thing for him.
Right. Right.
But it was a published book about him, kind of thing. And
Gotcha.
and she did it with AI. Wrote like a 300-page book, and all she did was put in what she wanted the book to say. So, yeah, it is. And old heads like us, we may frown on that. Like, what's the fun in that? But it's a finished thing. A thought in your head's useless if you can't communicate it. And you can be the smartest guy in the world, but if you can't talk to people or communicate your thoughts, then you're no smarter than anybody else. And that's what I said. I said negative, but it's not always negative. But one of the negatives is that it's so fast. Things come out so fast. All right, you can write books now. Everybody can put a book out.
Right.
Of course, that discredits other people who publish. How all these. Look at the news, Jeff. What's the freaking news? Does any talking head not have a book? I don't think they can have their job without a book. They don't write them,
you're
Jeff.
right.
They don't write them. They don't go to Maine and rent a house for 6 months and, like in Salem's Lot, and look out the window and write a book. They don't do it that way anymore. And
Yeah, but that
the
also,
ones that do will be special.
Right.
Yeah.
But that also plays on just how much patience we have as a society. We can't wait for anything.
Nope.
So, I mean, it's like instant gratification. We need it now. We want it now. And this tool is going to give it to us. And, everybody else is going to be pushed to the wayside.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, look at this medium that you and I are on now, doing what we want to do.
Right.
And, we've looked in the past of having video camcorders and you coming over or me coming over to your place or us meeting at a neutral site and filming it and then putting it out and everything. And now we have this medium of this Riverside app
Right.
that we're able to do this. And you look at the gremlins we had at the beginning of this, and you and I were irritated. And it's phenomenal.
Right.
All we got
Yeah.
to do is reset. It takes 10 seconds to reset, and we're irritated, and that speaks to what you're talking about. We have no
Mm-hmm.
patience anymore.
No,
And
everybody's like a microwave. You want it now.
yeah, and but unfortunately, the government will get involved with this, which will retard it to a lot of degree.
Yeah, but speaking of the government, let's talk about that for a second. Now, this is the AI that's out there for everybody's consumption. Imagine what the government has.
Oh, yeah.
Access
Yeah,
to unlimited.
but only certain parts of government, not the whole
Oh, I know,
bureaucracy.
not the whole thing, but just
Yeah.
certain
What
certain parts. Yeah,
and half of that, like defense, you're saying, yay, glad we have it. On other things, probably be hard to keep things secret. Probably,
yeah,
probably. I hope China and others aren't running an algorithm on what the probability of success of invading this state or that state is.
right,
The its applications in finance are phenomenal. I mean, I hear every day about this crypto coin, and all that is stuff that's just the beginnings of digital monetary policy, and
well,
that scares the living hell out of me.
yeah.
It's
Once you're beholden to digital currency, you could be shut off and starve
that
out at any
that's
point in time,
yeah, that scares me to death.
and that
That
should
that
scare everybody.
that takes freedom
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
That is a threat to freedom.
I mean, you go into a
And
lot of places nowadays, and you're like, well, here's a $5 bill, and they're like, no, we can't take it. We can't take cash anymore. You got to run your card. So yeah, I mean, it's being spoon fed that way for
and it's
quite a while now.
presented for our safety too,
Of
because
course,
for us to be able to make you safe, you're going to have to give up some of your freedoms.
right,
And some of your freedoms would be don't hem haw around about us listening to you in your house. We listen to you in your house, period. And everything you have with a microphone on it is accessible by us at any time we want. Not that they're doing it all the time. I'm not saying that.
right.
Uh, but it
But
is
they have the
accessible.
ability.
They have the ability, and we give it to them. We give them that
Yeah,
freedom
we
by having our little laptops that are so
yeah
convenient for us,
with
and
cameras.
with cameras and microphones, and uh, you know, and I'm sure there's algorithms about how you're talking or how your temperature is, and whether you're feeling guilty or whether you're not feeling guilty or showing signs of it. Um, But remember the manufacturing robots? They were a first step. The customer service, first we were irritated because our customer service rep was in India for our local Target
Right,
store or whatever, and then or Comcast. I'll use Comcast because they're the evil ones. Um,
gotcha.
we'd get irritated because the Comcast service report our customer service was in India. Well, that'll be gone to, if it's not already gone already. Now it's chatbots. Now
Yeah,
you don't need
yeah,
anybody in India. Now it's a chatbot. Are you happy with the chatbot? Actually, they're good sometimes.
right,
Uh,
right.
it's irritating because you can't get the feeling and emotion of this is my situation to a robot or to a chatbot. Where a person might take pity on you and go ahead and hook up your cable today instead of tomorrow. But it's we're past the horizon, and that's why when we were talking about doing that's why I wanted to talk about it, because the cars are kind of a visual that we can all see and know
Right.
that it's here, and but it's in thousand other applications we've been using for 10 years. They're just perfecting them now. And it's a bold new world, I guess you could say. Uh, but you look at AI, do you think twice about making a picture? Do you think twice about uh, writing whatever you want to write, have it published? I don't think twice about asking. It's like having the smartest friend in the world in my pocket all the time.
Right.
I mean, if there's a day, if there's a minute that I have a question about anything, I have access to the answer.
Oh,
You
everybody.
know,
Yeah, you're right. And everybody does that, but what does that
that's
take
an
away
oracle.
from yeah, but what does that take away from society as far as everything's
Makes
at
it
your fingertips now?
we
I
don't
mean, you used
talk
to
to
have
anybody
to,
else.
right. I mean, I grew up with the encyclopedia set at the house growing up, and if I had to do a paper, I'd have to go and study the encyclopedia. And that used to actually sink into your brain because you actually took the time to learn the subject, whereas now it's right at your fingertips, and as soon as you're done spewing out whatever, information you got, you forget it.
Yeah. Ideally, I would say, as a devil's advocate, ideally, instead of taking all that time for the encyclopedia, now you can learn 100 things instead of that one thing you were looking at.
Yeah, but
So I would say in a devil advocate's role, you have the ability to learn a lot more, a lot quicker. What you retain, I don't. I think that might just come with uh, generations of people being used to using it that way.
right.
You look at rotary
Because,
phones. We look at that
right.
like it was a bad thing in the past.
Well, look at spelling. You know how it'll autocorrect your spelling, or you look up how to spell a word. You used to have to go to the dictionary. Now you just pick up your phone, it spells it, and then you write your letter or whatever, and you send it off, and then you go back to try to spell it again, and you already forgot.
You forgot.
You
I know
know? Yeah.
people that don't know the road their school's on
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, because of GPS.
Right.
They
Right.
don't. I mean, I think inherently they would know how to get there if their GPS went down, but they couldn't tell you what road they're. If their car breaks down and somebody gives them a ride and they say, "Okay, what road your school on?" They can't tell them. They can't say it because they don't know what road the school's on. All they know is that GPS tells them, Waze tells them how to get there every day, but they don't know what road it's on, and I think that's something that, I mean, that's a dramatized example, but
Oh,
that
it's
sort of
not that
thing, that
far off.
the details of things are going to be unknown. And
I mean, you take me for instance. I've over the years, ever since GPS came out, I use it to get anywhere I need to go. Now, if I lose my signal, I'm directionally challenged, and I should have been able to read maps all along. Like
mhm.
my father-in-law, he still uses paper maps to get everywhere he's going. That's like a lost art now.
Who produces them
Yeah,
anymore?
I know.
But
Yeah.
although they can be produced by AI in an instant and they'll be deadly accurate. Um, but so I think there's good and bad with it.
There is.
It's
There
here
is.
though. There's no arguing against it now. There's no
No.
stopping it. There's
I mean, I
absolutely
am
no stopping it.
fascinated by just how good the pictures are that it produces. And like I said, we may be getting a watered down version of it depending on what
Oh,
application
sure
you
we are,
uses.
unless you're paying for it or
Right.
something. But
And you were talking about music. I was talking to my son today, and he plays, all different instruments, and he likes to come up with music. And he was telling me today, just on Spotify, there is an actual, just a pure AI band that is on Spotify that has over 300,000 followers. And so nobody's in this band. It's just an AI band
yeah,
and all these
yeah,
followers.
I
I
know.
mean,
It's a
it's
new,
mind
brave
boggling.
new world. It's a new
Yeah.
world. It's a new world. And unfortunately, AI can do things. I mean, we'll be there for manual labor, but eventually that'll be it.
And that's some of the trades. I mean, your menial labor things could be done by robots, now.
Yeah. 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 If robots can't do it, yeah, we'll
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
do the menial labor stuff. But Yeah. But interesting topic. I think the the ceiling's very high in the healthcare and stuff. I think that's really cool. Although there's a lot of downside to other areas, but it's coming. It's not coming. It's here.
It's
It's
here.
here, and
It's
it's
here.
being polished, uh, and it's only going to get bigger and stronger. You know.
And the other thing is, this thing grows by leaps and bounds in 24 hours.
Yes.
Just the learning ability of this. In 24 hours, it could grow 15 years older.
Right. But on one side, that's amazing on where it can take us, and
Right.
then on the other side, downside is that we don't have a chance.
True.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then again, if this is a created thing and it's not fully sentinel,
Hmm.
who comes up with the parameters? I mean, what's the moral implication, the moral parameters of AI?
Your elected officials, Jeff.
Yeah, yeah, I guess you're right
Except
about that.
it's people like Elon Musk, the people who know how to use it, that know how to
Right,
create it. Those of us that don't, I mean, we're useless on our phones if we have to build them. We're not
right,
going to build
right.
an iPhone. So the people who can are really in power. And then I guess you put your government in there to be the buffer between the people who could charge you $1 million for a cell phone. Because really, look at your cell phone; it's worth $1 million in the right era. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? What
I
it
agree.
does is worth well over $1 million, but we don't have to pay it because of our civil society. And I think that may be where the checks and balances end up being is our elected officials, and as long as they're in control until AI is doing their job, then when AI is doing their job, maybe not.
What about the religious aspects of AI? As far as, I mean, I read some articles where AI is decoding, or not decoding, but translating scripts that from languages that have long been
Yeah.
gone, you know?
Yeah, I think it's neat, like the hieroglyphics. You don't have to spend 20 years deciphering
Right,
something. You take a picture of it and it can decipher it instantly. That's cool. That's where you get that clearinghouse of knowledge
right.
uh, in a good way, to translate this stuff. And then the but the religious aspects might tell some people things they don't want to hear.
But is it telling the truth?
Who knows? Yeah, yeah. It depends on
And
which
then
source you
after that,
believe.
right, and then after that, how many people are following this version as compared to like the book version? You know what I mean?
You and I both know that most people are more likely to follow an AI generated character
All the time, yeah.
that
It
that
sure
says
seems that way.
that says it's all knowing than they are to believe in the biblical uh, stories and predictions and things like that. So it's hard telling where it's going, Jeff. Actually, it's really hard telling, and we're gonna watch some of it during our lifetime, and and then our kids are gonna watch a little more, and then I think their kids are gonna live it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep, I do, and that's me giving it a little hesitation on its development. But like you said, the way it develops, you and I may see it, and some of the hard stuff. Who knows? Uh,
And it's
but it,
kind of
it is
hard to
very
tell
interesting.
anymore with like video too. I mean, are you actually watching a video of a person or is this
You
an
never
AI
know anymore.
generated? I know. It's
I don't
incredible.
know how an actor can have a job. All they need is your image.
Right,
You
right.
get paid you better get paid a lot when they take your image because we don't need you after that.
Hmm.
And the yeah, that world is going to go. It's going to go the way of libraries, actors and actresses and musicians. Unfortunately, artists. It's going to go the way of the library. And
And we have
the
seen instances where they did have used AI. Well, nowadays they use AI quite a bit in movies, but earlier versions where, you know, you'd have an older actor talking to himself and he's younger.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. But
Yes.
I mean, nowadays you could do that in a fraction
Nobody
of the
has to
time.
get old. Nobody
No,
has to get old in
no,
Hollywood anymore. You can use
no.
them. You can use Clint Eastwood, movie after movie after movie,
Right.
and and I think that maybe that is where you'll get into people saying, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, we're kind of tired of this, this, this guy."
Right.
Uh, where our normal life expectancy kind of gives you that phased out and new things coming in, new people coming in. Um, it's just really interesting, but it's also, I think, our human nature is to try to better everything we do. And this is just something, unfortunately, this is going to encompass everything. And,
Yeah.
you know, but as humans, I think we try in everything to get better. We make the wheel better. We make the tire better. We make the roads better. We make flying better. And, you know, we could stop and just don't make any more planes. These work fine, but we're not built that way. It's not in our DNA.
No, there's
You know, they could have stopped a long time ago with video recorders, but we didn't. Now we had this, what we
right.
do.
Right.
And it's going to get better too. I mean, who knows where it's going? Scary things are, like you say, the finances, your, you know, implants to know everything about you, that kind of thing. And even implants is probably a an application that'll be phased out. We think of it, it's not here yet, but even that sounds to me uh, old school, like implants. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, maybe it's just a piece of tape, maybe it's just a blood, you know, injection.
Yeah.
Uh,
Nanotechnology.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's here. It's here, and maybe we'll watch it. We'll have another discussion on AI because of something else we saw coming about. But I think the fishing thing is just phenomenal. I that just blew me away when I was like, wow, because you know they always use fish finders, but that
Yeah.
was a technology. Now this is the next technology that takes them directly to the fish, and I just think it's phenomenal. And then the cars are here. Uh, who knows? Maybe AI could figure out how everybody gets free electricity someday, and that'd be a good application.
Yeah. I mean,
Uh,
won't need physicists anymore for that.
yeah, but we're missing when they're gone if we ever lose power.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, with the people that don't know how to do stuff when power goes away, everybody becomes animals, and I think it might evolve into more of that to where people really don't think on their own uh,
I could see that happen.
about things. They really don't know how. They just know their car runs when they get in it. They don't know
Right.
anything about it,
Right.
and they know their phone works. They don't know anything about it. Their laptop works, you know. But hopefully that doesn't seep into like the food and the water and things like that we need to survive.
Yeah. Yeah.
But good talk.
I hear it.
I like it.
If any of you out there like this show, leave a comment below. And if you have a story that you'd like to tell, well, don't leave it buried. Just email us at buriedstory74@gmail.com. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jeff.
You have a good one.